Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening on the Mysterious JG. Last time I got tied up with the unexpected process of setting up a new district. I suppose I could have moved the capital of Lethal's district farther west and just kept... But, I mean, honestly, as it is, Lethal's got a pretty big district. He's controlling, like, about a quarter of Japan. Maybe not a quarter, maybe more like 20%. But now with this little district here, I'm going to let it shine. We still... I think I've given away, half of our cities about that we control to those different districts. I just need to keep kind of giving stuff away, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, maybe we got some Hojo cities we can't rule. Like it's, I think we can get fairly far west before, because our capital is up here. It's sort of to the north and westish part of what we currently own. So we'll see. Addition of stables, level 1 is complete at Tsujigasaki. Oh, and that was the whole thing, to see if that made it more than level 9, and I think it did not. Yeah, level 9 is all it can be. So, that stables was wasted. This apparently got up to level 9 without even needing the stables. Should I just get rid of it now while I'm thinking of it? Probably, yeah. Let's get a... We'll start out with the rice dealer.
I will see it done.
We can get different supply stuff. Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff we can build there. But apparently not a stable. Where are you trying to get to? You are still heading there, so...
We move to seize their castle! We're taking the enemy castle!
The thing is, can we get... Glorious battle. Can we get, Kakakatsu, or Terutora, down here in time? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have called him Terutora. Kenshin Fushikian Uesugi, always a devout believer of Buddhism, Terutora Uesugi was quizzed by his mentor, Yaku Soken, as to the nature of ignorance. Ignorance is... It is not simply the absence of knowledge. It is the absence of a desire to know. That's interesting. Literally, I've always thought ignorance was the absence of knowledge, but, I mean, that is a deeper form of ignorance that definitely exists in our world. And the path to knowing all things, all creation, is not in merely knowing what ignorance is. It is in leaving all to Buddha and simply walking his path.
Yes.
That is precisely the path I will believe in.
Here's an idea.
Having learned this, I will change my name. It's an idea. And the meanings of its characters shall reflect your teachings. I am now Kenshin Fushikian. And so Terutora Uesugi changed his name to Kenshin Uesugi and grew even more devoted to the way of the Buddha, even though he just told us his name was going to be Terutora, or Kenshin Fushikian. Which I thought meant lightning, but I could be mistaken. But anyway, that's our last event we didn't see for the Uesugi, because I've showed some off screen that aren't part of this reality. But finally, at last, 100 plus videos into the series, where we're playing as Kenshin Uesugi, we are actually Kenshin Uesugi. The Dragon of Echigo. Yeah, I seem to have fallen. It certainly will recover, but please give me a little time. Give me just a little more time. You see these messages, it always means you're about to die, I think. The total crop clan target has been completed. This will further improve the conditions of your clan. And our daimyo province max labor is increased by 1.
Bring down their castle.
We can do territorial suppression. Please leave the Tokugawa clan to me. This is not going to work. I'm afraid the opportunity is passed. Don't ever mind. We can destroy Nagashino Castle. He wants to extract Takatora Todo. Oh, I was hoping it was going to be Hisahide Matsunaga. He served 7 lords, including Ieyasu Tokugawa. Expand his territory every time he switched masters. He always fought in the vanguard in his battles. He's got amazing stats, but obviously he's got... Yeah, I shall follow the teachings of Daiyujuji. Must be a special thing for the Tokugawa, because we've seen it with all the characters who are working here. But he's a guy who's going to be tough to keep loyal, but man, his stats are amazing. He says we had a coin flip chance. I say it's worth taking. I'm going to go to the onsen for my health. Well, then do it, friend. Shingen is ready to offer you an onsen. Meanwhile, we got a chief that could do this to get some deeds.
Loud and clear.
Rice dealer to Tsujigasaki Palace. Get a level 3 supply station, that would be nice. So we've got... Alright, I guess it's probably time to start building irrigation canals instead then.
Leave this to me.
I wish you could develop two facilities at a time, because I would have somebody else make that level 2 thing level 3 while she builds a brand new level 2 facility. Our allies are in danger. Justice demands that we aid them. Really? I don't know what you're talking about here. Unless somebody's attacking the Oda, which would be... Kind of the Oda are bringing a lot of that on themselves right now. Anything here that we could... Yeah, we got... These are pretty much powered up. It's possible we don't need the stable to be at level 9, but feels like it's a part of our DNA now to have it there, so. Ashikaka Gakko. How wonderful. This place shouldn't be deserted like this. If only we could mend this place. Yeah, do it. Mend it. This is... Why don't you mend it? Dude. Trying to give the chief something to do. Now, by the time Kenshin gets back from this march, everybody who's with him will probably be at a high enough level that they can take a castle. But if not the castle, then rule a district.
The battle is beginning. Be ready.
Additions to the stable at Hamamatsu Castle are complete. Where are you going? Oh, no, hold on. 6 officers have come of age and joined our clan. It's not going to let me see who they are. There's a Hatakayama. There we go. So we got Noto Daimyo. He became the head of the Hatakayama. Yeah, I think we're just getting a bunch of Hatakayama guys because a Hatakayama joined us. He is a Kasai retainer. He killed Shogun Maita. Here's a warrior Shibutsuke. Sukatane is there. He got a victory over the Utsunomiya at the Battle of Usubakawa. Sorry. This guy from Shinano. And he is an actual Uesugi retainer. He's the son of... Yeah, this is a guy who... we've seen his dad hanging around in these... and Osen, who was the wife of Kanetsugu Naoe. After the Toyotomi's unification, she joined Kakakatsu Uesugi's wife, Kikumine, in the capital, and later raised her son, Sadakatsu, when Kikuhime died of illness. We actually got to see her in a story sequence. set in the future. They are all coming in as chiefs. Cough, cough. Fake eyebrows, man. He got his hand on Joy extracts. I heard those are good for what ails you. You need to be going
Take the castle
this
down.
way, and we need to be doing some hearsay. I've heard tales about an incident concerning the Yoda clan. Would you like to hear? Mount Hiei aflame? Sure, that sounds fun. And this might be our reason for going after the Yoda.
The second year of Genki, Mount Hiei, the demon's gate to the capital, was besieged by Oda's army. Nobunaga's rage was boiling
He
over.
was very, very cross.
The place was extolled by all.
Well,
The
I've
great
never heard of it,
dojo
but
had offered spiritual protection of the state since the time of Dengyo Daishi. Revered by
Whoever that
many a
is.
sect, it was a pillar of Buddhism. At least, that was how it seemed. The truth was that since ancient times, Emryaku Temple had exercised its holy authority to make countless forceful petitions.
Who will
With martial
med me
might
of
of
these
warrior
meddlesome monks?
and land owned across the nation, the temple was one of the most powerful of medieval times.
The theme restaurant.
This power structure had joined forces with the Azai and Asakura, who disobeyed Nobunaga, and for that, he could not be forgiven.
I think this is the basis of that SNES
Opposing
Ninja
Nobunaga,
RPG that
protector of the shogun, was
Sir Fallen I
tantamount
played.
to
I'm not
rebelling
for
against
real.
the
It is.
shogunate itself. If these people were to ignore the samurai order, then they had no place in Nobunaga's plans for the nation. And yet,
The New World.
cries of dissent deafened Nobunaga, for he had raised a temple that many provinces held.
Sorry, I'm actually drinking a
The retainers protested
smoothie
their
here.
lord's brutality. The shogun Ashikaga Yoshinori and the Count
Kind of undermining the
Masamoto
seriousness in the moment here.
Hosokawa, both of whom had previously set fire to the central hall of the temple, went on to meet untimely deaths. It was said that Nobunaga would not escape divine retribution either, but Nobunaga would not listen. It is not a temple we raise, but a castle.
Take a while for this to catch up with them, but I guess they're trying to argue it did.
Nobunaga's orders, without question. This follower was Mitsuhide Akechi, who held great respect for the established authority.
But would go
structure.
on to burn future temples, sometimes with Nobunaga in them.
Then label my master as such. His mind made up. Mitsuhide set fire to the temple's central gate. The temple turned scarlet, and the desperate monks were slain by the surrounding soldiers as they fled. Agonized screams emanated from the chaos, but to Nobunaga, the heady scene was but a funeral pyre to lay this era to rest.
But a funeral pyre.
Ironically enough, this deed led to Mitsuhide becoming the first of Nobunaga's retainers to receive a castle. It was built upon Sakamoto's scorched grounds.
Yeah, probably this moment had something to do with... Oh, Enryakuji is adopted by the Oda clan. This might have something to do with how Nobunaga's end came about, I guess if you believe in fate. And that the guy who was willing to burn a temple down for him was the one who burned him to death in a temple. Although, I mean, technically, Nobunaga was resting in a temple. Mitsuhide marched his armies on him, and Nobunaga and his retainers set the temple on fire and killed themselves. I don't think history says that Mitsuhide set the temple on fire when Nobunaga was in it, but Masayuki Sanada has looked into another disturbance with the Oda. And Mitsuhide becomes Lord of Sakamoto Castle, as just described. I did not know he was the first one to get a castle. Let's learn more. Following the raising of Mount Hiei, Nobunaga Oda gave the distinguished Mitsuhide Akechi permission to build a castle in Sakamoto at Mount Hiei's base. Maybe this felt like a little bit of an insult. Hey, you just burned down a great temple. Why don't you build a cursed castle here? Sakamoto was once a key point between the capital and eastern Japan. We are to build a castle befitting its importance. Facing Lake Biwako, scenic Lake Biwa, Sakamoto Castle was equipped with an extravagant tower and could be accessed by boats directly from the lake. I hear that Lord Nobunaga Oda has entrusted Lord Mitsuhide with Sakamoto Castle. I talk like you. Give it a castle. When exactly did Mitsuhide become one of Nobunaga's people? He was a subordinate of mine when last I checked. It appears that Lord Mitsuhide is retainer to the Oda now, for all intents and purposes. I am not amused. Kutsukidani Castle's name has changed to Sakamoto Castle, even though I thought it was two different places. The Oda clan are just up to a lot. I really have been thinking it would be fun to play as the Oda clan, but I do believe it would be an 8,000 episode series where I would constantly be worried about breaking the chain of events. So let's just find out about Yoshikane Shiba. Changing his name. The Shiba clan, who governed over Owari, Echizen, and Totomi, were powerful members of the Shogun Ashikaga's faction. Alongside the Hosokawa and the Hatakeyama, they formed one pillar of the three Khan Rise. Yet this age of turmoil saw their fortunes fall, and rulership of Owari, their last stronghold, snatched from beneath them by the Oda clan. Reduced to a mere dependent of Nobunaga, a scion of the branch of the Oda, Yoshikane Shiba conspired to restore his family's name. His plans, however, came to naught. Although Nobunaga accepts my surrender, I have little left but my life. The weight of the Shiba clan's legacy is too great for me to bear. No longer can I cling to it. I shall renounce my past and serve the Oda clan. I shall need a change of name to signify my change of heart. Henceforth, Yoshikane Shiba was known as Yoshichika Tsugawa, faithful retainer of the Oda. Okay. I've heard tales of incident concerning the Oda clan. You don't say. Hideyoshi, lord of Nagahama Castle. So he's getting a castle at about the same time as Mitsuhide. You know who's not getting a castle? Katsuie! Come on, man. What about Nagahide Niue? I have no idea who he is personality-wise, because he's never in Samurai Warriors games, but... After the fall of the Azai clan, Nobunaga Oda commanded Hideyoshi Kinoshita to erect a new castle in Imahama, near Odani Castle. So, Hideyoshi, what will you call this land?
I had thought to call it Nagahama, my lord, based on your own illustrious name.
Do they think so little of us?
Ha! A boot-looking name for a boot-looking man. In 1,000 years, I would never have thought of it.
I want to crawl into
Jeez.
a hole and disappear.
I see I've disrespected you, my lord. I shall think of another.
That is acceptable.
No, I cannot. This land is yours now. Call it what you will. Even a name I would not choose. So Nobunaga basically calls him a little ass-kissing toady, but then makes him keep the ass-kissed name. Thanks, man. Nobunaga could be... I think he's a very interesting figure when you know a little bit about him as a historical figure. There's a lot of legend mixed in. It's hard to tell how much is factual. But it does seem like he could be a real douchebag to his subordinates.
Of course, my lord. I will endeavor to contrive a more suitable... Wait, what? You mean to give this land to me? This planet now belongs to Hideyoshi?
Unless he would not wish it. I have no doubt that Mitsuhide would gladly...
Thank you.
No, not at all, my lord. I would never dream of refusing such an honor.
The ruler's domain must be prosperous.
Good. Now build me a castle fit for a bootlicker, with a town to stand as a testament to your ingenuity.
A bootlooker town? So do you want me to do a good job or a bad job? I'm not clear.
You can count on me.
At once, my lord, I shall not let you down. This is a fine place and close to the capital. Perhaps someday I, too, will vie for all which lies under heaven.
Oh, and one last thing.
Yes, my lord?
You must have a new name. If you are to rule a castle, you shall need a name that you would be proud to proclaim to the world. I hereby name you Monkey von Bootlicker.
Of course, my lord. Phew. Man's very presence phrased my every nerve.
Oh, and one other thing, too. Like yet another other thing. Hideyoshi's innovative design for Nagahama Castle incorporated a sluice in the castle grounds, affording him full access to the transportation possibilities offered by scenic Lake Biwa, which may or may not be an actual other name for Lake Biwako. He also built his castle town with interwoven horizontal and vertical streets to better facilitate the movement and stockpiling of goods. Nagahama would go on to become a model for larger castle towns such as Osaka and Fushimi. And in the shorter term, just as Nobunaga had ordered, it stood as a testament to Hideyoshi's talent and ingenuity in municipal planning.
As for my new name, I will adopt one character apiece from Lord Shibata and Lord Niwa, and take the name Hashiba.
Oh, that's nice. Because Katsue Shibata and him were like enemies, but Shibata and Nagahide and Niwa were like higher up than him in the ranks in the Oda forces, so that's an interesting choice.
Let them call me bootlicker if they wish. It's better to be seen as a bootlicker than a threat.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense too. Making friends and influencing people. Hideyoshi Kinoshida's name changes to Hideyoshi Hashiba. Hidanaga Kinoshida's name... Oh, that's right, his brother. Changes to. And Erdani's castle name changes. Local recruitment is a thing that we can do. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Sunpu all stocked up again. Because they could have a sizable army going. And 6 months. I think we've got time for Kenshin to get over here and take part of a siege of Okazaki, which will be, I think, what... Not only is that essentially going to be what finishes off the Tokugawa, it's also going to be... unless I do unless this inside attack works, I might have just screwed myself. As far as getting a battle victory, and all the battle victory is really going to do for us is give points towards achieving goal.
The enemy is nothing before
Can't stand inside of you, yes, be gone.
I'll gladly take the castle off your hands.
And we've taken Nagashino.
You captured their officer alive.
So we've captured Tadatsugu Sakai, Yasumasa Sakari Bababa, and Hidehara Hano. It's a pretty cool portraits, but I don't think any of these guys are going to join us.
I cannot serve you.
Nope, none of them are
No moment to
willing.
spare.
Although Hidehara Kano is willing to consider it. I knew you would not give up so easily, but I didn't anticipate you would meet me directly. Do you need me that badly? They say missing this chance to work together would be a terrible shame. It's possible that they could help us, you know. It's rather difficult to speak freely while cornered like this. If you would consider appointing me a better domain, I would devote myself fully to its governance. So he wants to be Lord of Utsunomiya Castle. And that is... Let's do it. But let's give it to him for even longer to get the full loyalty boost. It's a fine deal. We'll take it.
You have my thanks.
You do this for an enemy. You would do this for your enemy? It is only correct, then, that I shall settle my obligation. I will aid you without fail.
You are more generous than the rumor suggests.
Seems people have been fleeing for the declining Tokugawa clan. It may be a good chance to employ them. You guys hold there for a moment. We just relieved a guy of duty. Because he was running that place and we kicked him out, so he can take this one instead.
I have never known such joy. I'm in your debt.
And he's actually getting better guys underneath him than he is himself, but
I'm deeply grateful.
yeah, infantry leaders can't run the castle outright, so...
I'm truly grateful and happy.
He will show us good results. Okay.
You have my thanks.
Attack the castle.
And Tsujiksaki has an irrigation canal. Let's get another one going.
I will see it done.
And I'm getting into my plan to make Edo into a... Oh, you know what? This wasn't a good use because she's in the middle of doing stuff. Ah, well.
If you've an order,
I'll just have somebody other than her keep working on Edo so that other people have things to do with their turns. Distant employment. Did I leave enough,
lend me your ear.
Yeah, what the hell. He'll be quick to turn, to believe in rumors. Oh, we've got a couple people who just want to join us outright. Including Masakage Ota. He's a Satake retainer. He later went on to serve Hideaki, whatever. This guy's the governor of Mino, became head after ousting his brother. With the aid of Dosan Saito, he returned once briefly after being chased away by the Dosan. Yeah, they do seem like guys who have pretty low loyalty, don't they?
I will enter your service.
Oh, they both come in as chiefs, so it's not that exciting. I don't think we'll bother with the rumor tactic. Successfully set a revolt at Okazaki Castle. It'll take a while for them to put it down. We should take this chance to march. Doesn't look like it... I spent all that extra time so we could affect more than one place, and it doesn't look like that worked. Yoritsuna Mizuki, we need to...
Take the castle down.
Get him out of this before he gets wiped out.
Your wish is my command.
Yeah, but I think we are looking now at the final days of the Tokugawa, and then there will be only one force we border, the Oda, with whom we are in an alliance. The Oda are about to finish off the Asakura. So it'll be the Oda, depends. It kind of depends on how much longer we want to keep this thing going. There's different endings. Maybe I'll play off-screen. Because there's endings for conquering every castle in Japan. There's endings for having all of Japan be either your vassals or... Yeah, there's a total conquest ending. There's a conquest that includes vassalization ending. And then there's the ending I traditionally get in these series, which is the war ban. Which requires you to control over a minimum number of castles. And Kyoto, which is Nijo Palace. It does look like we can get the warband ending solely by defeat. I don't think we'd have to fight any forces other than the Oda from here on out to get the warband ending. Technically, Nijo Palace itself belongs to the Ashikaga clan. Looks like the Tsutsui clan is still hanging on. I would assume they are a vassal of Nobunaga if they still exist. And they're positioned there. Yeah, they're a vassal of the Oda. The Honganji still exist, but they're in trouble. Shogunate is in alliance with the Oda as part of plot. And it looks like the Ishiki are a vassal of the Oda as well. They are not doing a whole lot to help out their marriage alliance buddies down there, are they? But anyway, yeah, I think we've hit the point now where we've done all the story events. I'm doing all this, like, thinking about the game like it's still got a long ways to go and, like, planning a supply base in Edo Castle. But, I mean, we got the Hojo, which technically we have a year in alliance with them. But, no, I mean, the thing is... Just whenever I feel like it's time and we just attack it might take more than one push just because of the amount of territory to grab, but we have to defeat the Oda, and then we just win the game. So that won't all happen next time, but that's definitely the direction we're moving in. I'm Mysterious JT. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.